All right, welcome back, boys. So these are the two examples that I wanted to show you that went with part one that you just watched. So now you know all the different vocab words. So now we're going to apply them and have you identify them with different parabolas. So if you take a look at this parabola, okay, every parabola will be going in this, will either be going up or going down, okay, and it's not going to be a sideways one. So you need to identify, using the graph, the vertex, axis of symmetry, x-intercepts, domain, and range. So all of this is part of the answer. Okay, so first things first, you should always find your vertex. So your vertex is going to be right here, and that point, the x comma y, is -2, 4. So I'm going to write that over here. And also, it's good to know that since this is a sad parabola, since it opens down, this point is going to be a maximum because it is your highest point of your parabola. Now, the next thing that's easiest to find is your axis of symmetry, which is your dotted line that goes through your vertex, and it's an equation, and it's an x equals, and the x you get is the x from your vertex. So that line is x equals -2. Your x-intercepts, otherwise known as roots, zeros, or solutions, well, this one you have two of them, because right here and right here are where your parabola crosses your x-axis. So this one right here would be 0, 0. And this one over here would be -4, 0. And I'm going to try to make these be whole numbers so you won't actually have to have any decimals or fractions. Now, the domain and range. Now, the domain are all of your x values. So if you look at your x-axis, these arrows down here mean that your parabola was going to open wider and wider, and it was going to cover many more x values. So your domain is essentially all real numbers because it covers every x value, okay? Now, the tricky part would be your range. It would be your y values. So your y values would be on your y-axis. Well, let's look at your vertex. Your vertex has a y value of 4, and that's the highest y value it can be. If you look down here, the graph is covering all of these lower y values. So it's not all real numbers because it can't be higher than that 4. So your range is y's that are less than or equal to 4. 4 is the max, and then everything lower than 4 would be included in your graph. And this graph obviously would continue to go down forever and ever. Okay? So let's do one more. Okay, so this one is a happy face parabola. So again, we're going to find all of these words over here. Let's find our vertex. That would be what? 1, -4. And this would actually be a minimum because it's the lowest point of your parabola. Your axis of symmetry is going to go through your vertex, and it's your x equals, and your x value of your vertex is 1, so x equals 1. The x-intercepts are where your graph crosses your x-axis, so you got 2 here. Whoops. Okay, and it looks like this one is what? 3, 0. The other one is what? -1, 0. So the domain, again, is all your x values, okay? It's going to be all real numbers again. And let me give you a hint, boys. Most likely, it's all real numbers for a parabola, okay? The only thing is for the range, there's going to be like a restriction on it. So it's not going to be every y value. So for your range, if you look at this, your lowest y value is -4. Okay, and then your graph goes up, 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 up. Okay, so nothing below -4 is on this graph. So it's y is greater than or equal -4. Okay, so again, that these arrows on the graph means it's going to go forever and ever. So it could even reach 10, the y value of 10 or the y value of 20. It's actually going to reach those values. Okay. So your homework is a worksheet, which is very similar to what these two examples were on. It's only 4 questions. Please make sure you read the directions and, of course, show me all of your work. And I will see you next time for part 2. Take care, boys.